Hello and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be trying to use my Pan Pastels to make a full illustration, a little Christmas illustration. Okay? In the last video I used Pan Pastels, I just went straight in, and I would love to do that again because I really liked that aspect of them, but I want to put a little gnome in this one, so it's going to need a bit of a sketch underneath, I believe. So I'm just going to take this earth green color from Polychromos. I love this color. God damn, can you sharpen, please? Yeah. Yeah, so anyways, this is earth green. I'm going to do a little sketch with this first. Wrong. First, I'm going to tape it off. There we go. Taped it off nice and light. I'm going to need more tape because I'm running low here. I've got a little sketch here of what I want to do, a little thumbnail, if you will. So we're going to try for that. I kind of actually want to make it a square, I feel. Yeah, that feels more right to me. I used my bigger tape and just blocked something off here. Okay, I'm standing up, which is one of my favorite things to do when I'm drawing. I don't know why. So I want to draw this guy so that he's kind of little. I want him to look like he's getting caught. So the lighting scenario is going to be a pretty big deal. We also don't have to go into that much detail right now. Definitely going to be wearing a little hat though, I'll tell you that one for free. So I want I want this little fellow to be stealing a little present. Yeah, do I want him to have a beard? Yep. And I want the beard to kind of have a good shape too. Obviously I want everything to have a good shape, but you know what I mean. And do I want, this is my question. Also, I love putting these little puffy, fluffy edges to their little coats and stuff. It's like they live in the North Pole, so like everybody has to have these little puffy edges, I feel. In my head, that's what it's like. So the hat is going to be here. The hat is a bit of a tricky one for me because I need there to be a hat. That's non-negotiable. But I feel that as though it's getting a bit in the way of him holding his little present that he's stolen up here. But I think it could work really well, actually. Maybe I'm just... Okay, and I wanted to do a bow. Yeah, I want his legs to be more like... got stopped mid-run kind of thing. Mid-running away. Think we can make that work. I can never decide what's better, like a dull, vacant look or like a really surprised kind of look. Because I really like a dull, vacant look. I think it's so funny. And I think I want to put some kind of more presence in the front. I'll figure out the perspective on that later when I feel like it. Like, I really just want to get to the pan pastel part. Okay, so presence. I'm making this up in my head. It's always hard to do an atmosphere in your head, isn't it? Yes, it is. Let me figure out this. Okay, I figured out the perspective. It was the opposite of what I was originally doing. So I've got a little bag here, an extra gift here. These are going to be mostly in shadow, these kinds of things. I'm hoping to make them a lot darker color. We'll see what we can figure out with the Pan Pastels because I'm still new to them. Like I said, this is the first time trying to do any kind of character or anything with them, so I'm so terrible at perspective. I just kind of start and then I go from there. I just start making lines and then I correct them after is what I'm meaning to say. Okay, something like that. It's not that big of a deal. Okay, so I've got my Pan Pastels right here. So I'm going to just get a couple colors out. I don't really know. I know I want to use this red. The idea is that he's in Santa's factory and he's working on stealing a present. Santa's factory and Santa's workshop, and he's trying to steal some of the stuff in there. So red's going to be the darkest. I'm just going to go for it. I guess I'll hold this in my hand. Yeah, there we go. Want to get a nice dark area around here. And then I'm even going to try to do the gnome's little like outfit and then some of the gnome with the pan pastel. We'll see. Just going to try to cover this. I don't want to, they say don't layer it too much. Try to keep a thin layer, especially on like smoother paper. That's what I'm using right now. The paper is quite smooth compared to what they think that you're gonna use, I guess. So I can do this actually because I can always erase. So it's okay if you go over a little bit. I like him. It's funny too because it's like you couldn't just wait. You couldn't wait for Santa to just bring you a present. I guess he figured he was going to be on the naughty list. Due to his behavior I'm looking at right now, that's probably what happened. I know this is looking a little messy right now, but bear with me. Stick with me here. Taking this now brown. Burnt sienna. That's why I wasn't going crazy with the sketch, because I knew I was going to be doing some stuff like this. Ooh. Guess I should, do the floor a bit. What kind of floor should it be? Didn't even think about that. I could do like a cobblestone or a wood floor. I'm thinking in Santa's factory it's probably wood, isn't it? I only have this brown, so I don't really have much option for the like shading and stuff, but that's okay. I can do it with colored pencil, not a problem. Not a problem there. And then what do you think? Do you think we see the wall like that? I love how you can just erase it and there's no pressure about that. I have these light colored ones, pastels, and this is my favorite one, I've decided. It's a yellowy kind of color. Don't want to lose the sketch. I'm just going to, while it also adds texture, I'm just going to work on erasing. This eraser is so freaking tiny and annoying. Like, it is a good eraser. Actually, it's the Tombow Mono Eraser, Mono Zero, but it's just kind of tricky sometimes. It kind of picks up a lot of stuff onto the eraser and then it transfers it back on. Then you kind of like rub it into the paper and it sort of stays there. And you're like, okay, what the hell? See how like it picked it up, but that might just be user error. In this case, I'm not going to blame the eraser because it is pastels. This isn't like color pencil, but it will do that with color pencil too. So I just want to make some texture. So I'm kind of doing some lines here and there on purpose, trying not to touch it that much. Yeah, like I like these little lines. So let's see where this gets us. We can always do more. So this yellowy color should fill that in now. Because I want it to be like, oh, there's a light on them. Oh yeah, I have another yellow too. Okay, one sec. Let's try this. This could be a mistake. We'll see. A touch. Just to make it a bit more yellow. Mix it with that. Yeah, that's nice. That's a little warmer. I think I'm going to do this. Kind of get the light on them. Trying to work on being intuitive. That's my whole thing now. Ever since I got these Pan Pastels, I'm like, let's just do this in an intuitive way. Jess Carp says intuitive all the time, and I'm like, I don't understand. But I do. It's just hard for me to let go like that. But I think it's healthy and good to do. Now that we kind of got our colors down, I guess we can go about blending things in. Wish we could get kind of more of a solid. Oh, maybe I should just mix it. So, what do I do now? What do I think? What do I think? This is fun. I'm having quite a bit of fun. So we'll go like that. Okay, I feel like that's better. I felt like this shouldn't have been dark because the light is on it, so that didn't make sense to me, really. But I think this looks cool. I think it's like, I don't know, I think it's fun. I'm trying to imagine, like, what can I do with this in the future? The possibilities are endless. So let's get a nice mix going in here. Sometimes I guess it is better to just go in and go for it, you know? Next time I'm going to try that. But I just wasn't sure because I didn't know how to draw the little guy yet. Because if I didn't know how to draw the little guy and I had to erase a bunch, which I did when I was drawing him, that can end up, you know, then you're back at the start with the Pan Pastels doing them again and Okay, I don't know if this is a bad idea, but I'm going to take this dark green and I'm just going to put it right around here, around the edges. I just want to make it like feel a little darker around the corners there. Okay, I think that looks good. I think we got a nice little spot of light on this guy, and whatever happens next, happens next. So I'm just going to erase where the little sketch is for his hat and everything so that the color will, when I put another color on, it'll lay down nicely. I decided I was gonna make him red because I bought this red color that I really want to use, but I think there's too much red going on already. That's annoying. I'm annoying. I need like a makeup brush of some sort. I don't know if that would really help, but something to brush this away without really disturbing the pastels. I don't want to put a fixative on it yet because I don't like the look of fixative with, like, when I put the fixative and I put color pencil on top, it does something weird to them. They don't layer that nicely after. I'm very picky about it. And wish me luck, because I have not done something this small, but I do want to get just a general color. Doesn't have to be perfect. I just don't want to have to do a bunch of layering with the color pencils. That will make it look so different to the background. I do want a smooth pastel-y look. So I'm just generally going to sort of put this little green color in. And then we'll do all the rest of the work with the color pencils. Okay, so now I got my color pencils back over here. Oops, I disorganized them. That's okay, get the general idea. It's not that big of a deal. And I'm going to try to pick a greenish color or some greens that are going to work well with his little outfit, the green I put on his little outfit. Maybe something dark too. This raisin color is good. So let's just try and figure out his outfit first. And I have to remember with this that oh my God, I forgot to do his little hat. I forgot to do the front of his hat. Okay. And I have to remember that I want to put a big shadow here because he's kind of caught in the light. Like a spotlight, you know? I've got his little hands there and they're just so dang tiny. Put a bit of this raisin color, and I definitely want my burgundy color. Where is it? I won't even be holding it in my hand right now. I love these two colors so much. And I also love the green, the Pan Pastel green color. The reason why I didn't make him so as big as I originally wanted to, like I set out a lot of space on the page, is because I want him to also look very small. Like he is small. So I'm fighting with, I want to do the detail, but I also want to make him look small on the page. Rock in a hard place. You know what I'm saying? So this neon orange is a tricky one. It's Prismacolor, which is wax based. It's not really mixing, it's not really meant to mix well with this kind of stuff. But I want it. So I put it in anyway. So hopefully that doesn't completely, you can see I haven't even really been trying to touch it. I've been trying not to touch it. And I still got all that over my hands. So it's really, you gotta really be careful of this stuff. Seems to also kind of meld the colors more as well. Something to be noted about that, which is cool. So if you do a big layer and then I'm putting this on top, this color here, it's melting them all together quite nicely and in a different way than if I had just used them by themselves. Gonna just put his little beard like this. Okay, so now I need to address, I did some detail on this little guy, this little thief. Just wanted to get in there, get some lines going. What I'm finding is that because of the Pan Pastel being so nice and smooth, the color pencil in comparison is looking like more textured. And I still like the texture, but I just have to be aware of it so that I can make sure that everything is looking unified. I feel that this is going to be the hard part, doing these GIFs. I'm going to go over them with a light layer of a darker color because they're going to be quite a bit into the shadows with a little bit of light surroundings. So maybe some light reflecting off of the ribbons and stuff. So I'm not quite sure how I'm going to address these. I want them to be different colored packages. I want them to look like presents. Let's say this is the corner. I kind of lost what's happening here. So because it's going to be dark, that's going to be a bit of, it's going to be a bit of layering, I believe, of course. But as I go further up closer to where the light is and where the little gnome is, I have to make sure to go a little bit lighter. Make sure the color is lighter because there's going to be more light on that. I don't know why, but I'm having fun doing this right now. I feel like this, I really like this color. And this is very smoothly going on. I want the presents really badly to look like they're shiny. Like, you know, ribbony shiny? I want that. But I'm not totally positive on how to get that. I'll figure it out. Okay, so that's like that. Now in the background, I'm going to put this raisin, a mix of raisin and burgundy, I think. Basically my two favorite colors, dark colors from Holbein. I'm going to use a mixture of them to create the dark, shadowy sections so that it's still nice and warm. I don't know, I think it'll look cool. And maybe now that there's another component that's going to have more of a pencil grain texture, because at first I was going to go and put the pastel on top and then go over top with color pencil, but I thought, no, let's try to get that back a little bit. And what color should the ribbon be, I wonder? Sorry if you hear my neighbor shoveling. There's a big snowstorm here. Well, not really a snowstorm. I wouldn't consider it a snowstorm by the standards of what snowstorms go by around here, but it was the first kind of big snow that we've had. So everybody's been shoveling all the time. And that's going to be a common occurrence that happens with me going forward in the winters. Like, we're going to be hearing stuff like that. Where I used to live, you used to always hear snowplow beeping. So I much prefer the shoveling sounds. So I really like that how this looks already, and I'm pretty excited about it. I think I'll go over just where the reflective part of this is with a color, with the burgundy. Just because I don't want to leave it white, of course. Still thinking about the ribbon. And I'm using these same colors, but I'm using them just a little bit more light-handedly on these sides. I took this orange and the neon orange, and I put it in the little gnome as well. So that's kind of like the warm light that's going on him. So maybe I should do that too here. I'm actually so happy that it snowed. I'm really excited. Nothing like a good snowing to make you feel like Christmassy, you know? So this is kind of a magenta color, magenta-ish. It's called Strawberry. I quite like it. So I think for green and magenta, those are I love putting those two together. So I figured let's do that kind of pink and green sort of thing for this gift. I'm going to do the raisin as a shadow color on this thing. I love doing ribbons and shiny objects. It really is so much fun. I love ribbons. But I was like scared to do this part, and I'm actually having quite, like I started immediately having fun. I was sort of worried about the little gnome guy, but once I noodled around with it a little bit off camera, I think I was able to pull him together. I really like the shade of green that his little outfit is. This should be quite a bit darker, I think, but I don't want to darken it too much with this particular color. Do that. What's this? Burgundy? Okay. Still want to make sure we show that it's pink, but don't want to... But also want to show the shadows. Actually, maybe for context, let's just color this whole thing in with the burgundy because it's supposed to be darker, so... Oh, I'm getting excited! I recently did a video on polychromos pencils, and I was talking about layering darker colors. And I think this is like a perfect time to try and, like when I'm layering this raisin color on top of the dark green, I'm seeing raisin. I'm seeing raisin and I'm seeing the dark green. So when I was trying to explain that kind of thing, the layering, I just felt like I wasn't explaining it very well, or I couldn't convey what I was feeling. That's sort of what I was talking about. I just feel like this is a good example to bring that up, that when I do that same thing with these color pencils, I'm not having that problem. I'm seeing all the colors when I layer them. And that's really important to me. They're not getting muddied or blending in with each other. They're laying on top of each other, and I'm seeing the other ones through. And I love that. I am so jazzed. I really like how this is turning out. Okay, so now I think I've got it as good as I can for that size. I'm going to take the darkest color, the raisin, and sort of try to express what part of this ribbon is in the shadow as well. Because this part is touching light, but this part really is not at all. I can always come back to it later too. I feel like maybe I'm looking at it a little too much now, but that's exactly what I was going for with, really want these presents to be in the shadow. So I guess I'm gonna pick this amethyst color for this present. I'm not sure why, but I don't want to have a green present next to a green present, and I don't particularly want to make this one red either. So that's where I'm like maybe purple. I want to stick with jewel tones as much as possible. I love jewel tones as well. That should be noted about me. For this one, I think I kind of want the ribbon to be this nice pink color. Cosmos pink. Ooh, 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 ooh. I want to draw this little tag. This is a bad color to do the tag in. And then I want to put a nice little shadow underneath the tag. I'm going to clean all these little edges up as well once it's time. So don't worry about that if you were. For the pan pastels, I've been thinking about it and I wish that there was some type of sharp edge tool that's small. I know that's not really like what, you're not really meant to use it the way I guess I'm trying to use them. But I still wish there was that. Like, let me try, you know? Maybe there is something. If you know of anything, please tell me. I'm very new to them, so I don't really know any tricks or anything with them yet. Barely know how to use them at all. Get a bit of the orange. I want to have that orange kind of in there somewhere on each thing, wherever it's hitting that bright light. I do want to make it look warm and glowy with this. I wonder if I'll ever get tired of making sharpener sounds. Probably not. Haven't yet. And I've been doing it for a long time. Do-do-do! Okay, so this is where we're at now. I think it's looking pretty good. So there's our bag. So I'm thinking about a couple things. I love the background now. I got to do the wood floor. I'd love to have something on the floor. I'm not sure yet. Perhaps a ribbon, something rolling around like here, or yeah, just to put a little something more in this area. I think I'll just do a ribbon that had rolled out because he is so small, and I didn't think about that, but I do want to show that he is very tiny. That's the thing. I do want to show, I'm trying to put some stuff in here too, so we can realize how small this little guy is. So I guess I'll put some ribbon right here, and that rolling out, we'll figure that out. And I kind of thought maybe to do some little sparkles or something more up here. So that's what I'm currently considering. Either way, I'm gonna get some texture going in here as well, just to sort of make it look a little less smooth, because walls aren't really that smooth and I want it to blend more with the other stuff texture wise. Okay, so I just used this tiny eraser to kind of erase my little space that I want that ribbon to be coming out of. I already like what's happening there. Happy with that decision. And I would just love for this ribbon really to be kind of reddish, but I realized I don't actually have a solid, purely red color, like a primary red, if you will, in a Holbein colors. I learned that about myself today. So we're gonna use a series of different oranges and stuff to try and create something here. But doing this erasing stuff is like truly what I love most about the Pan Pastels, just being able to draw with an eraser. And I know that a lot of other people do that, like that is a known technique with it. That is very, very fun to me. And I don't know if like people really enjoy like the landscape kind of stuff that I do, but I really enjoy doing it. I think it's really fun. So I would love to do a little bit more landscape, kind of explore that, because the Pan Pastels are, I'm finding them very, that's just a really good thing to use with them. Landscapes are hard and easy, but with the Pan Pastel I find it's very easy. With pencils I find it's really hard. I'm so confused as why I don't have a red. Why would I do that to myself? Maybe they didn't, whoa. Maybe they didn't have it in the store. They must have not had it because that's like a really obvious color that you need. Oh, I should do, hold on. First off, looking back, I probably shouldn't have done an orange, but I'm going to layer in some other colors on top of this, so bear with me. I gotta do some wrapped up ribbony looking ball thing. Okay, trying to get as close as I can here to show you what I'm doing. Just generally trying to make a ribbon. It's really, I think the orange was kind of a bad choice because I didn't want it to blend with the floor, so I'm trying to find a way to make it pop a bit more. Sorry for the weird angle. I'm just using my Pan Pastel again because I missed it. I wonder if there's something I can do where I can just give like the hint of a floor. I don't want to go into a lot of detail about it whatsoever. I really, really want it to be just like somehow you know that floor is wood. And I'll just take this and yeah, this seems to be working a bit better. Just gonna try to blend that in, whatever stuff I was doing there. Maybe if I take this sandy color, what's it called? Light sand? Oh, that's kind of good for this too. Maybe that's why I had it out. Must have been. Yeah, that's sort of what I wanted. Just the idea that the floor is wood. You know? Going with this same color, and I'm just going to go around this little guy's body, just on the floor, to create more of a glowy, kind of spotlighty kind of thing. Kind of mad at myself for making this bag such like the floor color, but what can you do? Nothing. Well, I could put a different color on top of it, really. Guess I could do something about it. There. Something like that. So this is what I'm really nervous about. I do want to have some stuff up here. I don't like I love the way that this looks. It kind of looks weird in this light because the light is coming reflecting, and I think that the Pan Pastels and the color pencils both have a bit of a reflection when light goes on it. So that's fine. Am I brave enough to sort of do some little guys? Just want some little kind of, my idea is it's Santa's workshop. He's stealing something from Santa's workshop, and there's like sparkles everywhere because Santa, duh. So I hope this comes off in the right way. Kind of like sparkles are flying around in the air, like dust particles. That kind of thing. So I don't want them to be too starry. This is looking too even to me. This part's really easy because I can always just go back over with some reds and blend it in with a blender. That's no problem. So if something's looking a bit much, we can quickly and easily fix that. Yeah, I think that adds more of like a little bit of whimsy to it. Let me get the camera out of the way and do the rest of these, and then we'll color them. Okay, so this is what I have so far. I'll add some neon orange to some of them to make them hopefully look extra sparkly. I did have to go over with the red again, and I kind of went around the edges to these ones, fixed up a couple things. Yeah, just little bits here and there. Well, I'm so annoyed because I just realized I wasn't recording that, but I essentially just went over this shadow with the Pan Pastel and my pencil. And then I'm putting a little bit of a shadow on the ribbon. Maybe add a bit more of this to the floor. Yeah, so that's really changed my outlook on this. It's not that I was not liking it or anything, I just felt that it was missing something. And I was concerned about doing this shadow. I was thinking, I don't know, is that the right move? So, yeah, I like it. Trying to take a little bit of the chartreuse green, sort of the gnome's accent color, and putting that in the sparkle, dust, particle, whatever things that these are. So before I spray it with fixative, because I know that stuff kind of gets everywhere, I'm going to have to use my new kneaded eraser, because I don't know where, I have no clue where my kneadable erasers went, but they were getting pretty old and dirty anyway, so picked up a new one in the meantime. I'm going to erase anywhere, because this got pretty dirty. My hand was rubbing right into it and touching everything else, so just going to try to get this off because I would like to spray the fixative before I take the tape off. I don't know why. That's just what I want to do. I just feel like it's the right move. So let's hope there's not like lines where it's dirtier and then I have fixatived that on. Now I'm going to go spray the fixative. I'll be right back. Okay. Let's do this one first. Going really slowly, and I didn't push down too hard. Okay, here we go with the last piece. Okay, good. The eraser thing worked because I'm not seeing really any definitive lines here. It's funny because I felt like it was looking so big and it was such a big thing, but it actually looks a lot smaller now that I took all the tape off because there's this whole part. And I love how clean the lines are. I'm jazzed. It feels like a painting to me, and that makes me really excited. Let's sign it. Okay, I'm gonna sign it with a nice little pencil here. Okay, so here is our finished result. I love it. I think it was really good for me because specifically the shadows, doing this whole background thing, I'm really happy about that. And coming up with how to do these presents in this type of lighting. I've never done that before and I was intimidated by it. And I felt like I really made a step forward there. So I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I guess I'll see you next week. Bye. Thanks for watching.